The night was quiet in the desert. Dr. Maya Rodriguez had been working at the research station for 3 years now, and she loved the peaceful silence that came after sunset. She was checking the weather instruments when something caught her eye in the dark sky above. At first, it looked like shooting stars, beautiful streaks of light dancing across the black canvas of night. Maya smiled and made a wish, just like she used to do as a child. But then she noticed something strange. These lights weren't disappearing like normal meteors. They were getting brighter and bigger. Her heart started beating faster when she realized what she was seeing. Something was falling from space, and it was heading straight for Earth. The lights weren't meteors at all. They were flames coming from what looked like a damaged spacecraft. Maya grabbed her binoculars and watched in amazement as the burning object crashed into the desert sand about 2 miles away from her station. The impact was so powerful that she felt the ground shake beneath her feet. A huge cloud of sand and strange glowing smoke rose into the air. She knew she should call for help. The research station had strict rules about reporting any unusual events, but something inside her told her to go and see what had happened first. Maybe someone was hurt and needed immediate help. Every second could matter. Maya quickly packed her medical supplies into her backpack. She had basic first aid training, and her kit had bandages, medicine, and emergency equipment. She jumped into her desert vehicle and drove toward the crash site as fast as she could. The closer she got, the more incredible the scene became. The sand around the crash site was turned into glass from the intense heat. Strange blue and purple lights flickered in the darkness. The air smelled different too, like flowers mixed with electricity. When Maya finally reached the crash site, she couldn't believe her eyes. The crashed object wasn't like any aircraft she had ever seen. It was made of what looked like crystal and metal combined together. Beautiful patterns covered its surface, and even though it was badly damaged, she could tell it had once been magnificent. Parts of the strange vessel were still glowing with soft light. Maya carefully walked around the wreckage, looking for any signs of life. Her flashlight beam danced across twisted metal and broken crystal pieces scattered across the sand. Then she heard it, a soft sound, almost like someone crying. Maya followed the sound and found something that made her heart stop. There, lying in the sand next to a piece of the broken spacecraft, was a being unlike anything she had ever imagined. The creature looked like a young woman, but she was clearly not human. Her skin had a soft, pearl-like glow, and it seemed almost transparent in some places. She had long flowing hair that changed colors in the light, shifting from silver to blue to purple. Most surprising of all, she had 4 arms instead of 2. The alien woman was badly hurt. Blue liquid, which Maya guessed was her blood, was flowing from several cuts on her body. One of her 4 arms was bent at an odd angle, clearly broken. Her breathing was shallow and weak, but what made Maya's stomach turn was the evidence that this wasn't just an accident. There were burn marks on the alien's body that looked deliberate. Someone had hurt her on purpose before her ship crashed. Maya's medical training kicked in immediately. She didn't care that this was an alien being. Someone was hurt and needed help, and that was all that mattered. She carefully approached the unconscious woman and began to examine her injuries. The alien's body was warm to the touch, and Maya could feel a pulse in her wrist, though it was much faster than a human heartbeat. The blue blood was concerning, but it seemed to clot similarly to human blood. Maya worked quickly to stop the bleeding using her medical supplies. She carefully cleaned the wounds and applied bandages where she could. The broken arm was tricky, but she managed to create a makeshift splint using materials from her kit. As she worked, Maya couldn't help but wonder who this being was and where she had come from. The spacecraft was clearly advanced technology, far beyond anything humans had created. The alien woman's clothing was made of fabric that seemed to shimmer and change texture. Around her neck, the alien wore what looked like a necklace, but it was clearly much more than jewelry. It pulsed with gentle light and seemed to be some kind of advanced device. Maya was careful not to touch it, sensing it might be important. After about an hour of medical care, the alien woman's condition seemed to stabilize. Her breathing became stronger and the bleeding had stopped. Maya carefully moved her to a more comfortable position on a blanket from her vehicle. As dawn began to break over the desert, Maya sat back and tried to process what had happened. She had just provided medical care to an alien being. The implications were enormous. This would change everything humanity understood about life in the universe. But looking at the peaceful face of the injured woman, Maya felt something else entirely. Despite their obvious differences, there was something deeply familiar about her. The expression of pain, the vulnerability of someone who had been hurt and abandoned. These were universal feelings that crossed all boundaries. Maya made a decision. That would change her life forever. She would not immediately report this to the authorities. This alien woman needed time to heal and recover. More importantly, given the obvious signs that someone had tried to hurt her. Maya wasn't sure who could be trusted with this incredible discovery. She carefully lifted the alien woman and placed her in the back of her vehicle, making sure she was comfortable and secure. Then she covered the most obvious pieces of the crashed spacecraft with sand and rocks, hiding the evidence as best she could. As Maya drove back to her research station with her extraordinary passenger, she realized that her quiet life in the desert was over. Whatever happened next, she was now part of something much bigger than herself. The universe had just become a much more interesting and dangerous place. Maya spent the next 2 days taking care of her mysterious patient in the small medical room at her research station. The alien woman slept most of the time, but her wounds were healing much faster than Maya had expected. The blue blood had stopped flowing completely, and the cuts were already starting to close up. On the third morning, Maya was checking the woman's temperature when she noticed her eyes flutter open. They were the most beautiful eyes Maya had ever seen, like looking into deep ocean water with tiny stars floating inside them. The alien woman tried to sit up but winced in pain from her broken arm. "Please, don't move too much," Maya said gently, helping her lie back down. "You were badly hurt in the crash." The alien woman looked confused for a moment, then her eyes filled with what looked like tears, though they sparkled like liquid diamonds. She spoke in a language Maya had never heard before. It sounded like music mixed with the sound of wind chimes. Maya felt frustrated that she couldn't understand, but then something amazing happened. The necklace around the alien woman's neck began to glow brighter, and suddenly Maya could understand every word she was saying. "Thank you," the alien woman whispered, her voice now clear in Maya's mind. "You saved my life. I am Zara, daughter of the High Council of Zephoria." Maya's eyes widened. "You're a princess." Zara nodded sadly. "I was, but I don't know if I still have a home to return to. My own people tried to kill me." Over the next few hours, Zara told Maya her incredible story. She came from a world called Zephoria, which was part of a group of planets that worked together peacefully. Her people were advanced in science and technology, and they had been watching Earth for many years. "We've been studying your planet," Zara explained, her eyes growing brighter with excitement. "Humans are remarkable. You've overcome so many challenges, wars, diseases, natural disasters, yet you keep growing, keep learning, keep helping each other." Zara had been chosen to lead a secret mission to Earth. She was supposed to make first contact with humans and invite Earth to join their peaceful alliance of worlds. She believed that humans were ready to learn about life beyond their planet and could contribute amazing things to the galactic community, but not everyone agreed with her. "There's a group on my world led by someone named Kethvalium," Zara continued, her voice becoming sad and angry. "He used to be my teacher and advisor. I trusted him completely. But he thinks humans are too dangerous and primitive to join us." Maya felt a chill run down her spine. "What do you mean, dangerous?" "He believes that humans are too warlike, too selfish. He thinks that if we share our technology with Earth, humans will use it to hurt others and eventually threaten other worlds." Zara explained that Kethvalium had convinced many members of the High Council that her mission was a mistake. They were afraid that humans would bring violence and chaos to their peaceful alliance, so they decided to stop me, Zara whispered, touching her healing wounds. "They attacked my ship while I was traveling here. They made it look like an accident, like I had died exploring a dangerous part of space." Maya couldn't believe what she was hearing. "Your own people tried to murder you." Kethvalium told them it was for the greater good, that sacrificing one life could save millions of others. "But I know the truth about humans. Yes, you have problems and conflicts, but you also have incredible kindness and courage. Look at what you did for me. You risked everything to help a complete stranger." As Zara spoke, Maya began to understand the terrible situation they were in. Not only had Zara been betrayed by her own people, but now she was trapped on Earth with no way to contact her friends or family who might help her. "There must be some way to send a message home," Maya suggested. Zara shook her head. "My ship's communication system was destroyed in the attack. And even if I could send a message, how would I know who to trust? Kethvalium has many supporters." Now Maya spent the rest of that day learning more about Zara's world and the amazing alliance of planets she came from. Zara showed her images from a small device that had survived the crash. Maya saw cities that floated in the clouds, underwater civilizations, and beings of all different shapes and sizes living together in harmony. "This is what Earth could be part of," Zara explained. "We could share our knowledge of clean energy, space travel, and medicine. Your people could explore the galaxy and meet thousands of different civilizations. But Maya also learned about the darker side of this cosmic politics. Catholium and his followers weren't just afraid of humans, they were also afraid of losing their power and influence. For centuries, they had been the ones making decisions for their alliance. The idea of adding a whole new world full of independent-minded humans terrified them. They're probably searching for me right now, Zara said, looking worried. They'll send ships to Earth, pretending to look for their lost princess, but if they find me, they'll finish what they started. Maya felt a growing sense of responsibility. She wasn't just caring for an injured alien anymore. She was protecting someone who could change the future of the entire human race. If Zara died, Earth might never get another chance to join the galactic community. That night, as Maya watched Zara sleep, she made a difficult decision. She couldn't handle this situation alone anymore, but she also couldn't trust the government or military. With this information, too many people would want to use Zara for their own purposes, or worse, might be afraid of her and want to hurt her. Maya realized she needed help from people she could trust completely. Scientists who would understand the importance of what was happening and who shared her commitment to protecting both Zara and humanity's future. She began making a list of colleagues and friends who might be willing to help, people who had dedicated their lives to discovery and understanding, who believed in the potential of humanity to grow and improve. As she planned, Maya couldn't help but think about how much her life had changed in just a few days. She had gone from a quiet researcher studying weather patterns to someone responsible for potentially the most important moment in human history. But looking at Zara's peaceful face as she slept, Maya knew she had made the right choice. Some things were worth risking everything for, and the chance for humanity to reach for the stars was definitely one of them. Tomorrow, she would begin reaching out for help. Tonight, she would stand guard over the alien princess who had already become more than just a patient. Zara was becoming a friend, and Maya would do whatever it took to keep her safe. Maya's worst fears came true exactly 1 week after the crash. She was making breakfast when Zara suddenly sat up straight in bed, her starlight eyes wide with terror. "They're here," Zara whispered, her voice trembling. "I can feel their ships entering your atmosphere." Maya dropped the plate she was holding. "How can you tell?" Zara touched the glowing necklace around her neck. "This device connects me to other Zephyrian technology. When ships from my world come near, it warns me." The necklace was pulsing faster now, like a heartbeat full of panic. Maya rushed to her computer and checked the satellite feeds from her research station. At first, everything looked normal. Clear blue skies, no unusual activity. But then she noticed something strange in the weather data. There were small disturbances in the atmosphere that didn't match any natural patterns. "They're using invisibility shields," Zara explained, seeing Maya's confusion. "Your human technology can't see them directly, but their presence still affects things like air pressure and temperature." Maya felt her stomach drop. She had hoped they would have more time to figure out what to do. Now enemy ships were already searching for them, and she had no idea how to protect Zara. "How many ships are there?" Maya asked. Zara closed her eyes and concentrated on her necklace. 3 vessels, small hunting ships, perfect for tracking someone down without being noticed. They probably have scanning equipment that can detect my life signs from orbit. Maya's mind raced. They needed to leave the research station immediately, but where could they go? The desert offered some protection because it was so vast and empty, but the alien ships had advanced technology that could probably track them anywhere. "We need to move now," Maya said, already packing their few belongings into her backpack. "I know some places in the mountains where we might be able to hide." Zara tried to stand but stumbled. Her injuries were healing, but she was still weak. "Maya, you don't understand. These aren't rescue ships. Catholium has sent assassins. They have orders to eliminate me and destroy any evidence that I was ever here." The weight of those words hit Maya like a punch to the chest. "What about me? Do they know about me? If they find us together, they'll assume you know too much. They won't let you live either." Maya helped Zara to her feet. Despite the fear coursing through her body, she felt a strange sense of determination. "Then we'll just have to make sure they don't find us." They loaded into Maya's desert vehicle and drove away from the research station as the sun was rising. Maya chose a route through rocky canyons and dry riverbeds, places where the vehicle's tracks would be harder to spot. As they drove, Zara told Maya more about the people hunting them. "The leader is called Commander Vex. He's Kethval's most trusted soldier. He believes that eliminating threats to our people is more important than showing mercy." Maya gripped the steering wheel tighter. "Has he done this before?" "Many times. Whenever someone opposes Kethful's vision for our alliance, they seem to have unfortunate accidents. Until now, I never suspected the truth. They drove for hours through the desert landscape, stopping only when Maya's vehicle needed fuel from emergency supplies she kept hidden in remote locations. During these breaks, Maya began to see a different side of Zara. Despite being a princess from an advanced civilization, Zara was fascinated by the simple beauty of Earth. She marveled at the way sunlight painted the red rocks different colors. Throughout the day, she was amazed by the tiny desert flowers that bloomed after rare rainstorms. On my world, we've become so focused on technology and efficiency that we've forgotten to appreciate natural beauty, Zara said, watching a hawk circle overhead. Humans still have this connection to their planet that we've lost. Maya found herself sharing stories about her childhood, about what had inspired her to become a scientist, about her dreams of exploring space someday. It was strange to think that here she was, on the run with an alien princess, having the kind of deep conversations she rarely had with other humans. But their peaceful moments were always interrupted by the harsh reality of their situation. Several times Zara's necklace would pulse urgently, warning them that the hunting ships were getting closer. Maya would quickly change direction, using her knowledge of the desert's hidden paths and caves to stay ahead of their pursuers. On the third day of running, they took shelter in an abandoned mining facility high in the mountains. The old buildings provided some protection from the alien scanners, and Maya hoped the metal structures might interfere with their tracking equipment. That night, as they sat around a small fire made from old wooden crates, Zara made a confession. That broke Maya's heart. "I'm scared," she said quietly. "Not just of dying, but of failing. If they catch me, Earth will never get another chance to join the galactic community. Kethfolium will use my death as proof that contact with humans is too dangerous." Maya reached over and took one of Zara's 4 hands in hers. "You're not going to fail. We're going to figure this out together, but how? We can't run forever. Commander Vex is patient and methodical. Eventually he'll track us down." Maya stared into the fire, thinking hard. "Then we need to change the game. Instead of just running, we need to find a way to call for help. I told you, there's no way to contact my allies without the right equipment." "Maybe not directly," Maya said, an idea beginning to form in her mind. "But what if we could send a signal that your friends would recognize? Something that would look normal to Earth's governments, but would mean something special to the good people on your world." Zara's eyes began to glow with hope. That might actually work. But we'd need access to powerful transmission equipment, and we'd have to be very careful about the message. Maya smiled for the first time in days. "I know some people who might be able to help us. Scientists I trust completely. People who've spent their whole lives dreaming about making contact with life beyond Earth." As they planned their desperate gambit, Maya realized how much she had changed over the past week. She had gone from a quiet researcher to someone willing to risk everything for a friend from another world. But more than that, she had begun to see herself as part of something much bigger than her own small life. Looking at Zara's face in the firelight, Maya made a silent promise. Whatever it took, she would help her alien friend survive and succeed. In her mission, Earth deserved a chance to reach for the stars, and Maya was going to make sure they got it. The hunt was far from over, but now they had a plan. Tomorrow they would begin the most dangerous part of their journey yet. Maya knew she was taking a huge risk, but she had no choice. She picked up her satellite phone and dialed the number of her old friend Dr. Alex Chen, who worked at the big radio telescope in Puerto Rico. "Alex, it's Maya. I need your help with something urgent," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "Maya, it's been months since we talked. What's going on? You sound stressed." Maya looked at Zara, who was listening carefully to every word. "I can't explain everything over the phone, but I need you to help me send a very specific signal into space. It's for a research project that could change everything we know about the universe." There was a long pause. "Maya, you're scaring me. What kind of signal?" "Mathematical patterns based on prime numbers and geometric sequences. I'll send you the exact data." "Please, Alex. I've never asked you for anything like this before, but I'm begging you to trust me." Alex had known Maya for years. They had studied together in college and had always shared a dream of discovering life beyond Earth. "Okay, but you owe me a very long explanation when this is over." Maya's next call was to Dr. Lisa Park, a quantum physicist she had met at a conference in Switzerland. Lisa had access to the most powerful particle accelerator in the world and could help amplify their signal. "Lisa, I know this sounds crazy, but I need you to help me send a quantum entangled message into deep space. It's connected to a discovery That could revolutionize human understanding of our place in the universe. Maya, are you feeling alright? Quantum entangled messages to space. That sounds like science fiction. I know how it sounds, but please, just help me encode the signal. I'll provide all the technical specifications. If I'm wrong, the worst that happens is we waste some electricity. But if I'm right, we might be making the most important communication in human history. It took 3 days of careful planning and several more phone calls. But finally, Maya had convinced her friends to help. Neither Alex nor Lisa knew the full truth, but they trusted Maya enough to go along with her unusual request. Zara helped Maya design the message using mathematical principles that would be recognized by her people, but would look like normal scientific data to anyone else. They embedded the coordinates of Earth, a distress signal, and most importantly, information about the betrayal plot against Zara. This is our only chance, Zara said as they prepared to leave their mountain hideout. Once we send this signal, there's no going back. If Commander Vex intercepts it, he'll know exactly where we are. Maya nodded grimly. Then we better make it count. They drove through the night to reach a remote location in the Amazon rainforest that Maya had scouted earlier. She had chosen this spot because the thick jungle canopy would provide some protection from the alien ships, scanners, and the natural electromagnetic activity in the area might help disguise their signal. Setting up the portable transmission equipment in the middle of the jungle was exhausting work. Maya had to clear away vines and branches, while Zara, still recovering from her injuries, worked on connecting the alien technology to Earth's communication systems. I can't believe I'm doing this, Maya muttered as she wrestled with a particularly stubborn piece of equipment. A week ago, my biggest worry was calibrating weather instruments. Zara laughed despite their dangerous situation. A week ago, I was sitting in council meetings arguing about trade agreements between planets. Life has a way of surprising us. Just as they finished setting up, Zara's necklace began pulsing rapidly. They've found us, she whispered. The hunting ships are close. Maya's heart raced as she made the final connections. How long do we have? Minutes, maybe less. As Maya's fingers flew over the controls, preparing to send their desperate message into space, she could hear strange sounds coming from the jungle. Around them, branches were breaking, but not in the way they would if animals were moving through them. These sounds were too precise, too deliberate. Maya, hurry, Zara urged, her forehands working frantically to boost the signal strength. Suddenly, beams of blue light cut through the darkness, slicing through thick tree trunks like they were made of paper. The alien hunters had found them, and they weren't planning to take prisoners. Send the signal now, Zara shouted over the sound of energy weapons destroying the forest around them. Maya slammed her hand down on the transmission button just as a blast of alien energy struck the tree next to her head. The ancient wood exploded into splinters, and she dove for cover behind a fallen log. More energy beams cut through the jungle, creating a deadly light show among the trees. Maya could see 3 figures moving through the forest toward them. They were wearing some kind of armor that made them look like shadows with glowing eyes. Commander Vex, Zara said, her voice filled with both fear and anger. I should have known he would come personally to finish this. Maya grabbed a piece of broken alien technology from Zara's ship that they had brought with them. It looked like some kind of weapon, though she had no idea how to use it. Zara, teach me how to fire this thing. Point it at the target and press the crystal in the center, Zara instructed, while trying to keep the transmission equipment running. But be careful, it's much more powerful than human weapons. Maya had never fired any kind of weapon in her life, but she wasn't about to let these alien assassins hurt her friend. She pointed the device at one of the approaching figures and pressed the crystal. A brilliant beam of white light shot out, striking a massive tree and causing it to disintegrate completely. The aliens immediately took cover and began firing back. More carefully. The signal is almost complete, Zara called out. We just need 30 more seconds. Those 30 seconds felt like hours. Maya and Zara crouched behind their makeshift shelter as energy blasts turned the jungle around them into a burning wasteland. Ancient trees that had stood for hundreds of years were reduced to ash in seconds. Maya tried to return fire, but she was clearly outmatched. The alien hunters moved with deadly precision, their weapons far more advanced than anything she could use effectively. 15 seconds, Zara announced. That's when Maya saw Commander Vex himself step into the clearing. He was taller than the others, his armor more elaborate, and his weapon looked like it could destroy their entire shelter with one shot. Princess Zara, he called out in perfect English. Your little rebellion ends here. Step away from the human, and I might allow her to live. Never, Zara shouted back. I won't let you destroy Earth's future. Then you'll die together, Commander Vex replied, raising his weapon. Maya closed her eyes and prepared for the end. But then she heard the most beautiful sound she had ever experienced. The transmission equipment let out a soft chime, indicating that their message had been successfully sent across the galaxy. It's done, Zara whispered, her voice filled with exhaustion and hope. The signal is out there, now we just have to survive long enough for help to arrive. Maya looked at her alien friend, both of them battered and hiding behind a fallen tree while their enemies closed in. How long do you think we have? Zara smiled sadly. If we're very lucky, maybe 3 days. If we're not, she didn't need to finish the sentence. Maya gripped the alien weapon tighter and prepared to fight for both their lives. She had come too far and risked too much to give up now. Somewhere out there among the stars, their message was racing toward Zara's allies. All they had to do was stay alive long enough for help to arrive. The final battle for Earth's future was about to begin. Maya and Zara crouched behind the fallen tree as Commander Vex and his hunters moved closer through the burning jungle. Maya's hands were shaking as she held the alien weapon, knowing she was completely outmatched but refusing to give up. This is your last chance, Princess, Commander Vex called out, his voice echoing through the destroyed forest. Surrender now, and I'll make your death quick. Zara stood up slowly, her forehands raised. Maya grabbed her arm, trying to pull her back down, but Zara gently shook her head. I won't let them hurt you anymore because of me, Zara whispered to Maya. You've already done more than anyone could have asked. Don't you dare give up now. Maya hissed back. We sent the signal. Help is coming. If help comes at all, it won't be for days. I can't let you die for my mission. But as Zara stepped out from behind their shelter, something incredible happened. The sky above them suddenly exploded with light, not the harsh blue energy of the hunters' weapons, but warm, golden light that seemed to push back the darkness. Commander Vex looked up in shock as 3 massive ships descended through the clouds. These weren't the small, sleek hunting vessels that had been chasing them. These were enormous craft that looked like floating palaces made of crystal and starlight. Impossible, Commander Vex muttered. The message couldn't have reached them so quickly. Zara's face lit up with joy and relief. General Thane, he must have been closer to Earth than we thought. The largest ship landed in the clearing with surprising gentleness, its landing lights illuminating the entire area. A doorway opened with a soft musical sound, and figures began emerging. They looked similar to Zara but wore different clothing and carried themselves with military precision. The leader was a tall, imposing figure with silver hair and kind eyes. He walked directly toward Zara, ignoring the weapons that Commander Vex and his hunters still had pointed at them. Princess Zara, he said, his voice filled with relief and anger. When we received your emergency signal, I couldn't believe what I was reading. Kethvol's treachery runs deeper than any of us suspected. Maya watched in amazement as dozens of Zephyrian soldiers surrounded Commander Vex and his hunters. The assassins found themselves completely outnumbered and outgunned in seconds. General Thane, Commander Vex said, trying to sound confident, I'm carrying out official orders from the High Council. This human has contaminated the princess with dangerous ideas about their primitive species. General Thane's expression darkened. The only contamination here is the poison you've spread, with your lies and fear. He turned to Maya with a respectful nod. Dr. Maya Rodriguez, I presume. Princess Zara's message told us how you saved her life and protected her when her own people tried to destroy her. Maya felt overwhelmed. She was standing in a clearing, in the Amazon jungle, talking to an alien general while spaceships landed around them. A week ago she had been studying weather patterns. Now she was apparently some kind of galactic hero. I just did what anyone would do, Maya said quietly. Zara needed help. That's exactly why Princess Zara was right about humans. General Thane replied with a smile. Your people have something many advanced civilizations have lost, compassion for strangers. Over the next hour Maya learned the full extent of what their message had accomplished. General Thane had been leading a secret investigation into Keth activities for months. Zara's signal had provided the final proof he needed to expose the corruption in the High Council. Keth Volume is under arrest on Zephyria, General Thane explained as his medical team worked on healing Zara's remaining injuries. Many of his supporters have confessed to their crimes. The real High Council, the one that truly represents our people's values, is back in control. Maya watched in fascination as the alien medical technology worked on Zara. Devices that looked like jewelry scanned her body and repaired damage at the cellular level. Within minutes, Zara looked completely healthy again. What happens now? Maya asked. Will Zara go back to her world? Zara took Maya's hands in hers. That depends on you, my friend. The High Council has officially approved my mission. We want to make formal contact with Earth, but we need someone we trust to help us do it properly. General Thane nodded. Dr. Rodriguez, your governments don't know about any of this yet. We could arrange for first contact to happen through official channels, but we'd prefer to work with someone who already understands our intentions. Maya felt the weight of the decision. Everything she had dreamed about as a scientist was being offered to her. The chance to be humanity's first ambassador to the stars, to help her species take its place among the galactic community. What about the people who helped me send the signal? Maya asked. Alex and Lisa, they risked their careers to help us. They'll be invited to join the program, of course, Zara said. We'll need many humans to help make this transition smooth. Over the following weeks, Maya found herself at the center of the most important diplomatic mission in human history. Working with Zara and General Thane, she helped plan humanity's introduction to the Galactic Alliance. The first official contact happened 6 months later at a carefully orchestrated event at the United Nations. Maya stood beside Zara as she addressed the leaders of Earth, offering friendship, knowledge, and a chance to explore the universe together. Not everyone was happy about the revelation that humans weren't alone in the universe. There was fear, confusion, and political arguing. But there was also wonder, excitement, and hope for the future. Maya became Earth's first ambassador to the Galactic Alliance. Splitting her time between Earth and Zara's world, she learned about technologies that could solve climate change, cure diseases, and allow humans to travel between stars. But more importantly, she learned that the universe was full of beings who, despite their differences, shared the same hopes and dreams that humans had. The desire for peace, knowledge, and connection with others. 1 year after their first meeting in the desert, Maya and Zara stood together on the observation deck of a space station orbiting Earth. Below them, the blue and green planets sparkled in the sunlight, while above them, ships from dozens of different worlds traveled peacefully through space. Do you ever regret saving me that night? Zara asked, watching a group of human children take their first trip to the moon. Maya smiled, thinking about how much her life had changed. She was no longer the quiet scientist working alone in the desert. She was part of something bigger than she had ever imagined. Never, Maya said firmly. You taught me that sometimes the most important discoveries aren't found in data or experiments. They're found in the connections we make with others, no matter how different they might seem. Zara nodded, her starlight eyes reflecting the vast cosmos around them. And you taught me that courage isn't about having advanced technology or powerful weapons, it's about choosing to help someone, even when it's dangerous. As they watched Earth turn slowly below them, Maya realized that their story was just the beginning. Humanity was taking its first steps into a larger universe, and she would be there to help guide them on that incredible journey. The alien princess she had found wounded and abandoned in the desert had become not just her dearest friend, but humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy, and Maya knew that the best adventures were still ahead of them.